and show their sincerity of enhancing its relations with China to create necessary conditions for normal exchanges with China. And as for your second question, Hashimoto Tashiki, that is the head of the GAPIT, visited China, and China has made our position clear previously. We hope the Japanese side and economic community could make active contribution to enhancing the China-Japan relations and help the Japanese government have a right understanding of China-Japan relations. Next one, please.
From PTI, you just...
有关孟加拉总统访华，请问，据孟加拉媒体报道，双方达成了合作协议，有关提斯塔河。目前对提斯塔河合作方面有很多担忧，因为这个河对边境地区非常相近。请问中方对此类担忧有何评论？以及是否双方元首会晤时是否谈及了此事？
已经介绍了孟加。
I've just briefed on the situation of Prime Minister Tarik's visit to China. China is ready to conduct cooperation and communication in multiple areas with Bangladesh. And the projects in Tistar River is an important project in our bilateral cooperation. I would like to stress that our cooperation does not target at any third party and does not be subject to the interference of any third party.
下一个问题。
Next one, please. From
Austrian Foreign Minister just concluded her visit to China. Can you brief us on that? And what's your comment on the outcomes of this visit? At the invitation of member of the Political Bureau of the CPC Central Committee and the Minister of Foreign Affairs Wang Yi, Austrian Foreign Minister Reisinger visited China from June the 22nd to 26th. This is her first visit to China since she took office. The two foreign ministers had an in-depth exchange of views on bilateral relations and international and regional issues. Before she came to Beijing, she had visited Shanghai and Taicang, Jiangsu province. During her trip in Beijing, she visited the China International Supply Chain Expo exhibitions and attended the reception celebrating the 55th anniversary of the diplomatic ties. This visit features a tight schedule and produces fruitful results with three keywords standing out. First, enduring friendship. Foreign Minister Reisinger's visit to China is an important part of celebrations on our diplomatic ties. She said that since our relations were established 55 years ago, great progress has been made. The establishment of the China-Austria Friendly Strategic Partnership in 2018 shows that despite different paths and systems, the two sides have established a stable and resilient partnership. Going forward, both sides agreed to keep high-level exchanges, strengthen strategic dialogue, and respect each other's core interests, so as to inject new vitality to our traditional friendship in the new era. China appreciates Austria for its reasonable and pragmatic policy towards China, and hopes that Austria will continue playing a constructive role in China-EU relations. The Austrian side is also ready to facilitate candid dialogue between China and the EU for the steady and sound development of China-EU relations. Second, mutually beneficial cooperation. This year marks the 60th anniversary of the China Council for the Promotion of International Trade and the Austrian Federal Economic Chamber, setting up representative offices respectively in each other's capital. During the visit, Foreign Minister Reisinger brought along a business delegation focused on bilateral economic and trade cooperation, visited Austrian businesses in China, attended a business roundtable, and took a test ride in China's new energy vehicle. She commended China's economic development innovation achievements multiple times, and noted that Austrian companies are ready to further explore the Chinese market, take part in the development of Chinese modernization, and deepen cooperation with China in areas of manufacturing, digitalization, finance, green development, science, education, and innovation. China supports the two countries in having closer economic and people-to-people exchanges to make the pie of cooperation bigger for mutual benefit. Third, multilateralism. Amid a volatile international situation and grave challenges to peace and development, China and Austria both support multilateralism and free trade and are committed to upholding the authority of the UN and international rule of law. China congratulates Austria on its election as a non-permanent member of the UN Security Council. We stand ready to enhance communication and collaboration with Austria to jointly uphold the authority of the UN, defend international rule of law and fairness and justice, work to reform and improve the global governance system, and make a new contribution to world peace and development. Austria expressed its readiness to have close collaboration with China, fully fulfill its duty as a non-permanent member of the UN Security Council, cement the UN's central role, and bring big and small countries together for world peace and development. Next one, please. It is reported that on June the 22nd, the Council of the League of Arab States at the ministerial level appointed Nabil Fahmy, former Foreign Minister of Egypt, as the new Secretary General of the Arab League. What's your comment on that? The Arab League is a symbol of strength through unity among Arab states. China congratulates Mr. Fahmy on being appointed as the new Secretary General of the Arab League and hopes that China-Arab relations will be further advanced during his term. As a good friend and partner of Arab countries, China is committed to strengthening solidarity and cooperation and standing together against challenges with the Arab side so that we can add new meanings to China-Arab strategic partnership and build a higher-level China-Arab community with a shared future. Next one, please.
Thank you. A question from AF.
法新社。新西兰官员称，中方扩大在太平洋军事存在，开展弹道导弹测试和海军行动。这是根据相关报道，请问外交部对此有何评论？
我不了解你。
I'm not familiar with the so-called internal document. Let me stress that China is committed to peaceful development. In developing its defense capabilities, China aims to safeguard its sovereignty, security, and development interests, and does not target any other country. China's military growth means a stronger force for world peace and is conducive to safeguarding peace and stability in the Asia-Pacific and beyond.
下一个问题。
Next one, please. From People's
Today is the UN Charter Day. What's China's take on the current challenges of upholding the purposes and the principles of the UN Charter? How can we better defend this authority? The UN Charter has established the UN-centered international system, the norms governing state-to-state relations, and the foundation for international rule of law. Observing the UN Charter is the biggest common denominator of the post-war international community. The root cause of the chaos in today's world is not that the Charter's spirit is outdated, but that the international order and the basic norms governing international relations, both set out in the Charter, are not being effectively upheld and observed. As the first country to put its signature on the UN Charter, China is committed to upholding and implementing the Charter. In May, when holding the rotating presidency of the UN Security Council, Foreign Minister Wang Yi chaired the Security Council high-level meeting in New York, centered around upholding the purposes and principles of the UN Charter and strengthening the UN-centered international system, with the aim to discussing the historic significance and the relevance of the UN Charter in our times. The shared message among the representatives from nearly 110 participating countries is the need to uphold one and the same system, the UN-centered international system, and observe the same set of norms, the basic norms governing international relations, based on the purposes and principles of the UN Charter. China will work with the international community to take the UN Charter Day as an opportunity to renew the vision embodied in the Charter, carry forward its spirit, and uphold the purposes and principles of the Charter so as to defend, revitalize, and strengthen the UN and build a more just and equitable global governance system.
下一个问题。
Next one, please.
还有其他问题吗？
Any other questions?
好，今
That concludes today's press conference. Thank you for coming.